Hello, Southern University System family. My name is Dr. Akai Smith, and I am the Southern University System Director for Title IX Compliance and the Associate Vice Chancellor for Equity Inclusion in Title IX for Southern University and A&M College. The information you've just received is vital to our campus's compliance efforts, and as our President Chancellor so eloquently stated, we now have a call to action in creating a safe and harassment-free environment for the entire Southern University community. In the final parts of your training modules, you will be introduced to your campus's Title IX coordinator. This person will assist you with a step-by-step explanation of your duties and responsibilities as a responsible employee based on your campus-specific operations. It is important to us that you're able to put a face with a name, as all reports received will be assessed by these highly trained and credentialed individuals. The Title IX coordinator for the Southern University and A&M College campus is Dr. Sojourner Gibbs. For the Southern University Law Center is Attorney Tracy Washington. The acting Title IX coordinator for the Southern University Agricultural Research Extension Center is Dr. Donovan Segura. For the Southern University at New Orleans campus, there's Dr. Patrice Centino. And for the Southern University at Shreveport campus, there's Dr. Janetta Banks. Thank you so much for your time and efforts to our compliance matters. We look forward to working with you all.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Sojourner Gibbs, and I am the Title IX coordinator for Southern University and A&M College. This portion of the training will be detailed specific to our campus. Here we will talk about your role and responsibilities as a mandatory reporter and briefly outline how and what you are responsible for reporting.
Greetings to you all from the Office of Title IX at Southern University. My name is Dr. Sojourner Gibbs, and I am the Title IX coordinator for Southern University and A&M College. In this role, I am the coordinator for all matters, including allegations of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, and retaliatory claims, all of which follow under Title IX laws and regulations, as well as the Southern University System's policies pertaining to these matters. This includes intake and assessment of initial reports, management of investigators, and overseeing the investigation of proceedings, all the way through to hearings. On behalf of SUBR and all of the parties involved, I want to thank you for taking this training, and as discussed, I will be walking you through each of these next following slides. We are all mandatory reporters, and as such, you are deemed a responsible employee. You all may be aware that Southern University's Board of Supervisors approved the new policy on power-based violence, sexual misconduct, and Title IX. The Baton Rouge campus is currently in the implementation phase of adhering to the policy by way of first providing this training. During the adoption of this policy, the President Chancellor appointed all of us, with the exception of confidential advisors, the role of responsible employee. As defined in our new policy, a responsible employee is an employee who receives a direct statement regarding or witnesses an incident of power-based violence committed by or against a student or employee of this institution. Therefore, as a responsible employee, unless designated specifically as a confidential advisor, it is your responsibility to reach out to the Office of Title IX and report these matters. For clarity and consistency, over the next two slides, we are going to distinguish the difference between sexual harassment and power-based violence. Under Title IX's definition of sexual harassment, there are three categories of misconduct which meet the regulatory definition of sexual harassment. First, there's quid pro quo. When an individual employed by the institution requests or mandates unwelcome sexual-based conduct from another employee or student of SUBR in exchange for a benefit, aid, or service, This is quid pro quo and is strictly prohibited. Second, under sexual harassment, there is sexual assault, which can include rape, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking. Third, under sexual harassment, there is unwelcome conduct determined by a reasonable person, which is so severe, pervasive, and objectively offensive that it is effectively a denial of a person's equal access to Southern University's educational programs and/or career pursuits. We are now going to discuss power-based violence. Power-based violence, as defined under Title IX, is any form of interpersonal violence intended to control or intimidate another person through the assertion of power over the person, to include the following: dating violence, domestic, family abuse, non-consensual observation, sexual assault, sexual exploitation, sexual harassment, stalking, unlawful communication, unwelcome sexual or sex or gender-based conduct. There is no time limit for reporting allegations of sexual misconduct and/or power-based violence. Your responsibility as a responsible employee is simple. You must report. As a responsible employee of Southern University, we all must do our part in informing the Office of Title IX of instances or allegations of sexual misconduct. Your report should include, to the best of your knowledge, the identity of the alleged victim, the identity of the alleged perpetrator, the type of power-based violence or retaliation alleged to have been committed, and any other information about witnesses, the location, the date, and the time that the incident may have occurred is vital to ensuring that we can do the best we can, ensuring a safe and healthy environment for us all. Earlier, we spoke about the confidential advisors. Well, here's a list of our campus's trained confidential advisors. They possess a wealth of knowledge and can assist any student or employee with the steps on how and what to report to the Title IX office. Let's be sure to emphasize the difference between filing a formal complaint and filing a report of sexual-based misconduct with the Office of Title IX. As a responsible employee, you can report allegations of sexual-based misconduct to the Office of Title IX by way of the following methods: either email, electronic report, which can be filed anonymously, or in person in AC Blanks Hall, room 245. However you choose to do it, let's just be sure to follow through and submit those reports. All parties are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Everyone will be and is treated equitably throughout the Title IX reporting procedure. So let's discuss the steps on this slide. Once a student or an employee directly or indirectly tells you about an allegation or an incident regarding sexual misconduct, you then report that allegation to the Office of Title IX. The Title IX coordinator will reach out to the parties involved and determine if implementation of the Title IX procedure process is required. If you are not directly involved in the matter being reported, you will then be advised if any further action on your behalf is required. So once you've upheld your obligations as a responsible employee, by reporting an incident involving sexual-based harassment and/or power-based violence, your work is done. Well, almost. For context, let's take a look at a reenactment of a scenario that would prompt you to report to the Office of Title IX.
He offered to walk me home from my dorm because he saw I was drunk and he wanted to make sure I got home safe. Silly of me for believing that, right? When I woke up, everything was a blur and I felt violated. I wasn't sure I could tell anyone because I thought everyone would blame me. But one day, I sat with my favorite professor and I told her everything, and she knew just what to do.
At Southern University, we know that disclosing any acts of sexual misconduct is challenging for any survivor. But as a responsible employee, it is your duty to contact the SU Title IX coordinator so that we can help the survivors and take the necessary actions.
Hey, Dr. Smith, this is Professor Shelton. I just spoke with a student and they just closed an experience with me about sexual assault.
Thank you for contacting us. You took the responsible action. I'm going to need the student's name and any contact information you can provide to us.
Yes, ma'am. So, do you need me to come in and make a formal statement?
No, you don't have to do that.
So, I am very concerned about this student and I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So, what exactly will your office do about this situation?
The Title IX office will reach out to the student via email and ask them to come in and tell their story. We'll offer them resources and collect information pertinent to the report that they want to make.
It seemed hard for her to open up to me about this. So, you're not going to force her to speak to you, are you?
Absolutely not. Our office is trained to handle delicate situations. We want students to know that they can come to us and report all matters concerning sexual violence and power-based violence.
An employee who receives a direct statement regarding or witnesses an incident of power-based violence committed by or against a student is a responsible employee, unless they are designated specifically as a confidential advisor. He or she shall promptly report the incident to SUBR's Title IX coordinator. If the reporting party would prefer to speak with a confidential resource, the employee should direct the reporting party to a confidential resource. We have provided a list of confidential resources on our website. As a matter of safety for our campus community, I take pride in being a responsible employee.
The first step in this process is to contact SU's Title IX office via phone, email, or digital reporting form and speak with the coordinator who can collect general information about the reported incident. Once a survivor decides to meet with the Title IX coordinator, we will discuss with them what they need, gather information about the incident, including the alleged assailant, and if the alleged assailant is a student or an employee. At no time does the Title IX coordinator force survivors to disclose information they are not comfortable with sharing. Also, meeting with the Title IX coordinator does not mean that a survivor must file a formal complaint or report to the police, but the more information shared, the better the office can help with resources and interim measures, which could include things like temporary change in housing, work, or the classroom environment. We know that every case is different, so every response will be different. Again, it is our goal to make certain the individual is safe, that they're being heard, and to let them know that SU cares. Everyone has moments of doubt. They say, I shouldn't get involved, or this is none of my business. But as a member of the Southern University community, it is your responsibility to report any disclosed information of sexual misconduct, harassment, stalking, assault, and power-based violence. At Southern University, we must all uphold our duties and responsibilities as responsible employees.
Southern University and A&M College takes all allegations pertaining to sexual misconduct and power-based violence very seriously. Therefore, a responsible employee who is determined by SUBR's disciplinary procedures to have knowingly failed to make a report or with the intention to harm or deceive made a report that is knowingly false shall be terminated. So now let's discuss some core points. Southern University expressly affirms our commitment to zero tolerance for any form of discrimination at our institution. As faculty and staff, we have a responsibility to provide the necessary tools that will foster a harassment-free environment conducive to positive learning outcomes. It is everyone's responsibility as a responsible employee to perform the official duties in a manner that maintains and fosters non-hostile environments both inside and outside of the classroom, both inside and outside of our working environments. If at any time you are not sure what to do, just ask us. We're here. We're here to help you serve our students and our fellow employees. The SUBR Title IX office and its representatives will serve all members of the campus community both equitably and impartially throughout the process. All you have to do is ask. We're here to help. Again, if you need to ask, here's my contact information. My name is Dr. Sojourner Gibbs. I am the Title IX coordinator for Southern University and A&M College. I am located in Augustus C. Blanks Hall, room 245. Here's my email and here's my telephone number. I look forward to working with you. Please accept my sincere thank you for your time and attention into ensuring our Jaguar Nation functions both free of harm and equitably in matters of Title IX. Again, I thank you and have a wonderful day.